Hey guys, it's Baxter and Blake here with Bluewater Yacht Sales. Today we're sitting down with Harvey Shiflet. Harvey is one of Bluewater's brokers. He's a charter captain. He's a delivery captain. He's a fishing tournament pro and just an all-around great guy. But what we wanted to do is take a few minutes, go back a couple of years to the Edisto Invitational Billfish Tournament. I think it was 2018. Harvey, I don't know if the best thing about this was winning the tournament or the fact that you became a internet superstar. Can you take us back to exactly what happened, what was going on, and then walk us through the videos that we will show? But just tell us what happened.
Okay, well, it was a pretty good story. We were at the very end of our tournament season in South Carolina. That year there was 5 tournaments in South Carolina. It's a series called the Governor's Cup. And basically we had gone the whole series. We had placed and we had done pretty well in the series. But there was one thing that hadn't happened yet. There hadn't been a qualifying blue marlin call for the whole year in the tournament series. So on the very last day of the very last tournament, we hooked a fish at about 12:30, I think, in the afternoon. And as soon as the fish jumped, we just knew it was going to be a qualifier. So we basically fought this fish past time. I mean, it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon when the lines were called out, and we were still fighting the fish.
How far out were you?
We were 57 miles off the shore, off the dock, basically. So basically what happened was all the boats picked up, started running back to the marina, and, we're fighting the fish. And at that time, I hadn't got a Delorme yet, one of the inReach communicating devices that we use so much today. So I couldn't really let the tournament committee know what was going on. So once everybody was out of range, we were kind of on our own, and we fought this fish for till 4 o'clock. And then we knew we had to do something because the weigh-in deadline was 7 o'clock on the last day. So basically at 4 o'clock, we went ahead and pushed the drag up to full drag, and we decided either we're going to break the fish off or we're going to catch it. Well, at 5:02, we finally boated the fish, and I knew I didn't have much time to get there. So started running in. I got within cell phone range, and I ran the boat harder than I ever do. I usually turn it at 1750, and I'm only making about 26 knots, and I ran at about 1950, and engine temperatures were getting up there pushing 200, and I could smell the coolant in the air, and I could tell they were hot. But so anyway, we're making 30 knots, and when I got within cell phone range, I talked to the tournament director. And her name's Amy Dukes, and she said, "Look, we're all prepared. You got to get this fish in here, buddy. We've got a crowd of people here waiting, and do what we got to do to get it here. You've got our permission, and everybody knows you're coming." So anyway, we ran right around the corner. There's traditionally a no-wake zone, which was kind of null and void that day for me, luckily. And got to the marina, and I didn't cause too much of a wake going in there. I tried to pull it back right when I got to the first tee head. And so, got around there, spun around, decided to get back to the dock, and the crowd was there, the adrenaline was pumping, and the conditions were just right for a maneuver like we did. And we actually was able to touch the dock. That was the rule. You had to touch the dock before 7 o'clock. So we actually put a hand on the dock with 2 minutes to spare.
Now, as a charter captain from the Outer Banks, docking like that was second nature to you. It was no big deal to you, was it?
Yeah, I took a little bit of grief about that, but back in the day, that's what we all did. I mean, that was part of the experience for the customer. That was part of the experience for the crowd. That was always there to watch us back in. So, I mean, that was just sort of another day.
That's awesome. Now, were you surprised? So obviously you won the tournament, and we'll get to that in a minute, but were you surprised about, so everybody was there with cell phones, everybody caught it, uploaded it to video, and then bam. I mean, tell us about that. I mean, you enjoy winning the tournament and all of that, but now all of a sudden you have hundreds of thousands of views on every single Facebook page. It has anything to do with fishing. What happened?
Well, that's what I didn't consider. You know, coming in there, I didn't consider any of that at all. I was just, my concern was getting the fish in, getting it weighed, you know, making everybody on the boat happy, making the crowd happy. So within days of all this happening, all of a sudden, all these different videos started popping up, and they were popping up in sites that I never would have imagined. I mean, I was seeing them coming from Australia. I was seeing them coming from, you know, I mean, California, you know, I mean, I was getting people texting me that I'd never heard from. And it was just, it was really kind of, it blew my mind how many times it got aired and how many views had actually been clicked on these videos.
That's awesome. So tell us about the experience of the boat owner, the crew, and just a little bit about winning the tournament.
Well, so I've got a really good crew, and we basically fish average of 12 to 15 tournaments throughout the country each year, and out of the country as well. And we travel continuously with the boat. And it's pretty much the same core nucleus crew that fishes every tournament. We you know, move some people in and move some people out, but we've got a tournament crowd that fishes with us. And so it was really an exciting event, and probably for my boat owner, it was, maybe I would call it the highlight of what we've done together. We've won a lot of tournaments, and we've you know, we've had a lot of success, and we've built a great friendship. And at that point in time, that was just one of those things that was the right thing at the right moment, and it all came together.
That's awesome. Now, that was a long battle fought, though. I know that you guys have, that boat's been a project, and put some heart and soul into it, and now it's a tournament winning machine.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, it was one of those boats that I used to compete against regularly when I had my boat. And, you know, the anticipation was always my nemesis. And, you know, we would always be head to head in everything we did fishing wise. So when that boat came to the market, it was a natural for me to want to, you know, purchase that boat. And luckily, you know, my boat owner, Paul Corey, felt the same exact way when he saw it. And we knew it could be improved. And, you know, it was our 1998 custom built boat. So it obviously needed to be brought up to date a little bit, which we have done. And Bluewater Yacht Yard in Hampton has done 95% of the work to that boat. And it's just been, it's the perfect boat, in my opinion, for what I do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I know there's a ton of different videos out there. Probably one of the most widely watched, the one with the most views. Just give us a what's going on in your mind as you're backing into the dock. And I mean, could you even hear the crowd, or were you just so zoned in that you were worried about doing what you do that didn't even take into account everything that was going on?
Well, I didn't really hear the crowd at all. You know, I took a look over there, and I was really paying more attention of how I was going to maneuver into that spot.
Tide rips down there, doesn't it?
Tide rips. Yeah, there's 4 knots of tide pretty much all the time. You know, you have to be used to playing the tide when you're coming into any slip down here in South Carolina. So basically, I didn't hear the crowd. I saw the slot they wanted me to go into, Mr. Pete, which was basically in first place of the tournament. And they actually did win the tournament, Mr. Pete, with Alan Neal, captain. But we won the Blue Marlin division that tournament. You know, when I got in there, I just basically took a look at the tide. I knew it was screaming out, so I knew that was going to be in my favor because I needed to get that boat turned around in a short little spot. And so I just went ahead and backed it in there like I would have in, you know, Pirates Cove, where I'd done it so many times at that kind of speed. And the tide helped me. It pushed my bow right around just as I planned, and got me laying to right on the dock just as I had planned. And it just worked out.
That's awesome. You know, it's interesting that depending on which page you see the video on, some pages, you know, with more of the fishermen on there and the people that are in the know, everybody's, you know, saying, "Oh, what a job, you know, the captain did, what a great job." And then on some of just the recreational pages, people are you know, criticizing the captain. You came in there, you put the boat there without a scratch. All the other boat owners, everybody there were supporting you. Everybody got a heads up that you were coming in. Any issues? Anybody? I mean, I noticed that people were criticizing you online. Did you get any hate mail, so to speak, or some negative text?
I mean, I read some of the comments on many of the posts, and you know, it was what it was. You know, you could tell who was writing it if it was negative, if they knew what they were talking about. It didn't bother me so bad. You know, a lot of people said, "Oh yeah, that's easy with bow thrusters." Well, Anticipation doesn't have bow thrusters. You know, there was other people that other people said that was you know, not professional. That was this, that was that, but they weren't there in the moment. They didn't know what, you know, was on the line. And you know, with tournament fishing, we're out to win, and so that was just one of those things. And yep, something could have happened wrong, but you know, something could have happened wrong while we were out there catching that fish. Bill Fish could have jumped in the boat and gone right through somebody's chest. You just, you know, that's the chances you take. But you know, the funny part about it is my wife Meg, she reads the comments and takes them to heart, and so I didn't respond to anybody's comments basically, but she took care of a few of them for me, and I thought that was kind of funny.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, you know, that was 2 years ago. So I know that some of the tournament schedules right now are kind of in question, but what's next for you guys? What's next for the crew of the Anticipation?
Well, generally we're sitting here in South Carolina waiting for the Governor's Cup to start again. The first one was scheduled for early May, and that's the Bohicket tournament, and that has been postponed now to the end of July. So we're entered in every tournament from now through September, and just waiting to see how everything's going to pan out with what's going on. So, you know, we're ready to go. Boat's ready to go. We've been in the yard all winter, and we did some fantastic work on it. So I can't wait to get back out and fish.
All right, Harvey. Well, we appreciate your time here. We hope to see you on the tournament trail in the coming tournaments, and good luck next time. We hope to see you on the winning stand.
All right. Well, thank you, Baxter. Hope to see you soon.
We appreciate it.